we are going to be talking about pool things, whether it be amateurs,
Very
pros, stuff going on around here, stuff going on around
Lucas Picasso-Werner.
We are going to be talking about him today.
Very good, very good.
And of course, as you know, that's the two of us.
Nice.
So we do have a bunch of stuff that's going on today. We have a whole big rundown for you. Again, this is going to be, anywhere between a half hour to 45 minutes
Right,
of,
we're gonna play it by ear, kind of
talk.
the first time.
Very podcast style. I don't know if it's gonna match up to some of the podcasts that you've ever heard at first, but we'll get there.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. For those of you guys who, you guys are maybe fans of, say podcasts like the Joe Rogan Experience or something like that.
Yes.
I would love to be that good.
Yes.
Eventually.
Of course.
We'll get there.
That's the plan. Just keep following and sharing and subscribing on YouTube.
Exactly. So, again, the Shark Stream, not just about list matches, not just about pool, it's about other things too, and we are trying to turn it into a whole network of different things, and this is the first way for us to do that. So, let's kick it off with our very first topic. We're going to talk about local news that's going on around the area. We'll start off with one of our great sponsors, of course, the Connecticut American Pool Players Association. Held some state tournaments over the weekend.
We have a couple more this weekend coming up for 8-ball and 9-ball, so there's going to be a lot more teams going to Vegas. There already was some, obviously, that are going out now.
Yep, and we qualified some teams, and we had a couple teams out of here that qualified. But one of the teams that we're going to be talking about actually has a really, really phenomenal story. The Connecticut APA had a ladies team that qualified from our area. Their names were Killer Queens 2.0.
Yeah, and I think they have another name that they're using also. I'm not sure if that's their exact name, but
yes.
We'll figure it out when we get them in here at some point.
Yes. Oh, actually, yeah, I believe that was, no, I'm sorry, that was in 2016. That was the team that we're talking about.
It was Killer Queens. That was the original team, and APA tagged them as Killer Kings
the Killer Queens 2.0. So
yeah.
that was the original team that qualified. But the reason we're talking about them is because one of the players on there was a player who qualified with that team in 2016, but unfortunately was unable to go because of a very bad motorcycle accident that she had.
Very, very bad. I mean, unfortunately, was loss of life and permanent mobility issues. And she is on a team now, and they're playing, and they actually won a trip, which is absolutely amazing.
So the 5 players who went were, of course, Rebecca Hilton, your daughter.
Hilton, yep.
Liz Glass,
Yep.
Allison Vandermalen,
Cheryl
Church, and fifth one.
Rachel.
Yes, Rachel
Yeah, I
Belleville.
was the same Bogan, but yeah.
Rachel Belleville.
Yeah. No, not Belleville.
Oh, no.
Norberty.
Oh,
Norberty.
Rachel Niederbitty. Yes.
Rachel Norberty.
So the 5 players, last year they had an opportunity to go. I don't believe Allison was on the team.
No, she was last year. 2 years ago, they had a chance to go, and they made it to the state finals. And those of you guys don't know, Rebecca Hilton's my daughter. She's a fantastic player. She was a 5. She just went up to the 6. And one of the things that makes me proud of her is not as well as playing is she went up right before the qualifiers as a 6.
Yeah.
And you know what she said? She said, "Dad, I'm a 6 now. I get to play as a 6." Where a lot of people say, "I can't believe I went up right before the qualifiers and the playoffs." And
yeah, because sometimes it can make or break. I mean, it can make or break a team. It changes the way they're playing. It changes the combinations they're going to play.
Yeah.
Maybe the player's not ready to move up just yet. Maybe the player is scared about moving up and isn't going to play as well because of it.
Absolutely.
So yeah, she took the challenge head on.
She did, and this was this year. But so 2 years ago they played against who's another one like a family member of Yale Billiards, Jamie Pfaff's team.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if she was the captain or not, but it came down. They were one match away from going to Vegas, and it was Liz Glass versus Jamie Pfaff. It was two 20-year-old veterans of Yale Billiards, and it was heartbreaking. They lost Hill. They lost by 1 or 2 balls, and it came down. And if any of you guys played AP out there, I don't know how many of you guys have, but APA can be very stressful. It can be very tough. You can have a great team sometimes, and it just doesn't happen. So Rebecca was very, very upset. She took it personal, and she said, "All right, I'm going to be a better captain. I'm going to get better players, and we're going to. I mean, not better players. We're going to work harder to make ourselves better players, and get to the next level."
If I remember, you told me correctly, you kind of went over the game with her, and you had said that she might have made a poor decision in that game.
I did, as I do not only to my daughter, I do it to all my
Yeah.
patrons here at Yale Billiards. I try to teach them the way it works,
Yeah.
my experiences, because I remember our first 5 years we didn't even make it to Vegas. I think maybe 1 or 2 teams out of like 40.
Yeah.
Because there are some strategies to it: who you put up, how you put up,
When you put people up.
when you put people
Yeah.
up, because there's only a 15 level or a 13 level handicap in ladies league, so you have to play certain ways. And I think what she did was she put her stronger player up second because they were down instead of saving it, so she won.
Kinda
and
got
the last
spooked.
person lost. Yeah. So this year she did it a little different, and she did fantastic. The first player lost, second player came right back, and she didn't save. She saved herself for last, and she took the last match to go home. And they were actually supposed to play one more match, and one of our other sponsors, Sigmaware, Michelle, was already qualified, so therefore they didn't have to play that match, and they played for trophies, and Rebecca actually won that match also. So
Yeah. And here's the rub of the whole story. The fact is that Allison was on this team with Rebecca. She had already qualified to go to Vegas before, but again, she was unable to go because of the motorcycle accident that she got into. And that year, her team went on to win the Ladies World Championship, even though she couldn't make it.
I believe that was the first Connecticut team ever.
First
to win.
Connecticut, yeah, I believe
Yeah,
it
to
was.
win.
And, of course, they dedicated the World Championship to her. And, this year she's finally going to get her redemption and the ability to go back to Vegas and the ability to,
Play.
at least go up there and
Play.
enjoy,
Compete.
enjoy it
Yes.
and play and compete like you wanted to do. So, congratulations to them. It's very, very good that we were able to have this team qualify again. And what a crazy story! It's almost like a story of, I wouldn't say redemption,
Yeah.
but it's almost like a story of finally getting
It was
what's
meant to
what
be.
you're due.
Yeah, what their due was, because
Destiny.
Allison, and it goes perseverance with Rebecca's hard work and dedication. She, like I said, she didn't shy away from being a higher player, and she got her players, and they worked together, and she's been down here practicing.
Yeah.
And doing well. And I wanted to call APA today, and I missed the vote. I called it 501, and I didn't get. I want to get all the list of all the teams, but I want to give a shout out to another great team that was a huge upset. Was I don't know who the captain is. Steve Roman.
I believe the captain of that team was Derek Hart,
Ryan Cullen,
if I'm not mistaken.
and who was the last player?
It was Steve Roman, Ryan Cullen, Derek Hart, and they played two. He played. Give me a minute. I'm trying to think who it was.
We'll figure it out. But either way, they're going to Vegas. Congratulations to them. They beat a really good team. They beat Eric Tang, Tommy Torres, Brent Bumbles, and obviously Ryan was on both teams, so he couldn't play. So it's kind of
Ryan was on both, and he wasn't able to play because the rules forbid him to play both.
or
Funnily
you can't
enough,
pick a team.
before they played, they had to knock out my team.
That's
So thank you,
unfortunate for you guys,
Brent.
Timmy.
Thank you, Brent and crew for doing that. I love the ability to watch that one from the sidelines. I goofed up too. I was kind of misinformed. I ended up unintentionally congratulating Eric's team. Unintentionally congratulating Brent's team beforehand. I felt kind of bad when Derek was like, "Hey, we won, guys. Just saying, it was us."
Yep.
Apparently, every single match went hill, which
That's crazy.
is absolutely
I
unbelievable.
don't think I've ever seen that. We played on all the state matches and the world qualifiers, and to see 3 matches go hill is unheard of.
Yeah, exactly.
It's unheard of. It really is. It's exciting. But that's what APA is. That's why they're one of our sponsors. And congratulations to all the teams. Obviously, Michelle Schroeder, her team, they obviously went down on that team. They're a great team, and congratulations to them and all the other teams out there going to Vegas.
Speaking of next week on Shark Talk, if we can get all the information, I can actually get us all of the teams, and we can actually go through an entire list.
That would be fantastic. Yeah, that would be great because they'll all be completed by that point.
Yeah, next week is this Saturday is States. So
yeah. So
there's
anybody
actually
out
still-
there that's listening and wants a shout out that say you're going to Vegas, give us a nod.
Yes.
Give us a nod.
So Andy Gow wanted to mention that he does want to show the shirt that we are wearing. Of course, the Yale Billiards Shark Stream shirt.
Yep. Shark Stream.
we
Shark
get
Stream. Shark Talk Live.
we get the awesomeness, of course, of having Michelle Schroeder as a sponsor, and she's given us a couple of extra gifts. Of course, the blue shirts. there.
I
for
didn't want
us.
to match. It was just a little too much, so
He gets-
I wore the gray
Well, the gray is the one. The gray is the one that you guys can buy.
for $40.
Yeah,
It's a good
so-
deal. It's a good deal.
Yeah, and they're really, really nice shirts, moisture wicking, and we still have a pretty good amount of them. So again, if you want one of those, just talk to Bobby or come on down to
Yeah,
Yale.
we got Lucas Burner.
Yeah, we'll talk to him.
We'll
talk about him in just
maybe
a
not
minute.
this time. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll talk about him in just a minute. We actually have him in the show because we want to talk about what was going on there. Speaking of that, we probably should get to our next round
Yeah.
of activity. Let's talk the World Championship.
World Championship
Yes.
in Europe.
The World. We're not talking the
Professional.
Amateur World Championship. We're
Professional.
talking the World 9-Ball
We
Championship.
switched it from APA to
The pros.
professionals.
So, first thing I want to mention, let's talk about the local guys first. Lucas Fracasso Werner, his very first World Championship berth. Didn't go the way.
I spoke to him in the back, and he kindly admitted that he was definitely a little nervous, and I was shocked.
As he should be.
because He should be. But for him, I mean, he's everybody knows him. He's got the heart of a lion. He
Yeah.
plays everybody, and to have him a little nervous, I think is humbling. And I think it's a good experience for him. I think that was actually a good thing for him to do inside.
Yeah, I had mentioned, I spoke to him the day before. I had to call him the day before the championship started because there was the huge revelation that his very first supposed to be match was supposed to be against Kalenti Kachi. But Kachi couldn't make it because Kachi let his visa run out.
Yes.
And he couldn't leave Albania. So because of that, he wasn't allowed to go to the tournament because he couldn't fly in. And Lucas ended up having to play Carl Boys instead. Of course, Matchroom, in their ability to keep a tournament running even when they don't get all the players, decided to throw one of their guys in, as they should.
He's a good
It
player.
happened in the world. It happened in the World Pool Masters.
Yeah.
But Carl Boys, of course, by lieu of working with Matchroom, does pretty much get the opportunity to be the ultimate alternate in the event. There were so many players that were invited to, that were put on the invite list. Lucas was one of the players who was actually on the guaranteed invite list.
Which is
They
pretty amazing.
knew that he was
Pretty
going to get an
amazing.
invite.
No matter who showed up or
Yeah,
who was going.
he was going to be one of the first 128 people that they offered it to. And this included players that were in the World Top 16, players that had won previous titles, previous World Champions, things like that. So there were... he's going nuts with this sign. So there were... He ended up playing not only Carl Boys, he ended up losing 9-3 in the first set, and then the second match that he had to play in the double elimination was a Canadian by the name of Stephen Holm. I probably am saying his last name wrong. There are a bunch of players in the tournament whose names I can't even remotely pronounce. But he ended up losing 9-6, and apparently he played a little bit better, or far better, in that tournament, and kind of made it a little bit more competitive. Apparently, he was only down, I think, 7-6 at one point. So
Yeah, I think.
Lucas had a chance, obviously, to get a little bit further in that tournament. We had mentioned, Brian, that Jamie was the fourth player. That was one of the fourth players on that tournament.
Jamie Bogan, that's correct.
It
Yeah,
was Jamie Bogan.
That's the one we were
And
forgetting.
that was the one we were forgetting.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Jamie. My
Yeah.
apologies.
Yeah.
That was for the APA. That was the Masters. Derek Hart's team.
Like I
who
said,
won
a
that
shout
one.
out to them. They played it. Obviously, they played a great tournament. To go out and win. I don't know who they played in their first round, but they beat a heck of a team in the second round, and they deserve all the respect. That was an awesome job by them.
Yeah, they ended up playing. They ended up playing in the first round. They ended up playing a team from Eastern Connecticut, as
Okay.
it were. So I just lost my screen in here.
Okay.
I know we're still on.
Yeah, we're
but
still on.
We they ended up playing a team out of Norwich,
Yeah.
and because of that,
Yep.
they
So, Yeah, they did awesome. Like I said, I
Thank
wanted
you.
to shout out to them personally. They did a great job. Congratulations to Jamie, Steve, and Derek.
and Derek for
Yeah,
winning there.
That's a great job. And of course, Ryan, who watched from the bench.
So yes, exactly.
I just joke with Ryan. He's a good friend of mine, but he's going to Vegas. It's
You knew
awesome.
that. You knew they weren't playing him anyway.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
he just wasn't in the cards for that one.
But back to the pros. We're
Yes.
back to the pros. So
So Lucas loses 2 and out, and I remember calling Lucas afterwards. He was in the middle of watching the top 16, and I believe it was when Oliver Sanaki was playing after he beat Shane, which by the way was absolutely ridiculous.
yeah,
And he had said that the two biggest things he struggled with were the shot clock and the fact that they were using water vapor fans in the in the event. So
puts
you
a
know the
little
fog
moisture,
machines.
a little moisture on his shaft, or
Yeah.
yeah.
So
I
you
could
think-
see that.
Yeah, the fog machines.
Yep.
And he uses a wood shaft, but he said even with a glove, he goes, the shaft was kind of sticking to him. And he goes, no matter how much I cleaned it, he goes, it stayed damp and
Yep.
didn't really work well. So it goes to show that you need to bring something that can, smooth
That's
the
why-
shaft out and
That's why
clean things out.
Billiards has accessories. We have towels and stuff to clean your shaft and all
Yes.
that good stuff. But and the shot clock is something else. I mean,
Yeah.
Can you imagine if APA had a shot clock? The league would go a lot quicker, but it would definitely make a difference in your play.
I think most of us would just end up fouling due to the shot clock. I mean, you think, Lucas is a quick player. I think I shoot quickly. I mean, a 30-second shot clock is like light speed.
Yeah, it really
compared
is.
to what you typically shoot. If you really sit down and you think about it, it's
10. Oh, that's what they do when you're doing in the shot clock. Lucas said
I think
that.
they're a little quiet about it. A little more quiet about it.
So what happens? What I'm doing there is Lucas was saying that if you're in a shot clock, it's 30 seconds, and when there's 10 seconds, the referee would yell 10, and that's how you know it's time to shoot. That has to be a little rattling, don't you think?
Michelle, why do they use the fog machines? Because they were trying to make it a nice experience when you were filming. Of course, Lucas was on an outer table, but they're trying to create the ambiance of it all. You
For
got
looks,
the
yeah,
the fog,
looks,
the laser
absolutely, yeah.
lights, and all the the silly things that production people do to make things work. So yeah, Lucas kind of struggled with that. You gotta stop it. You're killing me.
All right, Lucas. All right, guys.
So the whole event was, of course. Oh, that's what I need to do. I just need to
Oh, you
touch
need
the
one
mouse.
mouse.
That's
That's
funny.
good.
So the whole event was a whole 4-day event, and Lucas gets knocked out a little early. But he was saying, he goes, that's one of the things I need to work on. And Lucas, of course, is already planning on doing the U.S. Open, which is going to be in Atlantic City this year. That's right.
We are definitely making a trip. I know
100%.
if you guys are interested, let us know. We're going to definitely meet together.
Yeah.
And I know you said you may only go for 2 days, but
Yeah, the 17th, the 18th. It's already booked. It's gonna be
I have
booked.
a great friend. I have a lot of good friends. But Brian Tierney has a party bus.
Nice.
We can take 12 people on a bus to Atlantic City.
That's a good
How
plan.
about that for the U.S. Open?
That's a good plan.
So if you guys are interested in that, let me know.
If you remember the trip, let me know.
Okay.
Because I don't think you're going to remember the trip there.
All right, that's fine. That's true. But so that's pretty interesting. And if you guys are listening, not from Connecticut, down south or somewhere else, let's meet up there. Let's play some pool. Let's play some matches.
Yeah.
If you're in a different area, you want to shoot against Timmy, myself, or any of our guys on the list that go, hit us up. Say, hey, I saw you guys on the Shark Stream. I think you guys play well. I got this guy. We'll match up, and we'll do some matchups. We'll play you guys.
Yeah, you
Play
never
some
know.
other people.
You never know what might happen when we get out there. Speaking of young and up and coming players,
Yeah.
another young and up and coming player I have to mention is that kid from Hungary, Oliver Sanaki, the one who beat Shane.
Is that the guy who had Shaw 6-0, right?
No,
That's a
that
different
was
one. That's
that
another
was
kid
the
that was-
German world champion.
that's
That's a
another
junior
kid that
world
plays
champion
really
from
well, too.
Germany. It goes to show that the Germans are true machines. This kid plays in the same club as Josh Filler, and he's already.
Listen, these youths, including Lucas, are coming up. Watch out, man. I don't think I've ever seen a crop of young players this talented
The three
in a
youths.
long time. Yeah, absolutely. Youths.
Youths.
you say youths. So,
But this kid, if you watch the match, you can find the match, by the way, on Matchroom. You can go to Matchroom Pool, YouTube,
Yep.
and you can find the match. The match where he played Shane was actually live streamed. It was the first day where they did the 2-table format. They were running table 2. It was an outer table, no commentary, and it was also the very first day where they went to the wood rack. Well,
Yep.
the wood rack. It was a plastic rack, but it
Yeah.
still was a rack that
it's
wasn't
not a magic rack.
Yeah, it was the rack that wasn't the magic rack. And there was a little bit of controversy about that.
Yeah, there was. I mean,
Switching over rack, mid format. I want to know what you guys think about that at home, of course.
I think this tournament's a tournament. This tournament's decision. The tournament makes the decision. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
I understand.
Hey, all the players signed on. I mean,
Yeah,
you know.
absolutely. But if you like the magic rack and then you're upset by it,
Yeah.
that's the way it was. I'm sure they knew or told people about it, and just some people are going to find excuses, and it's going to have an issue with that.
If you look back at the stats, though, if you look at the top 32, and you look, because Matchroom kind of kept a kind of kept a running list
Yeah.
of all the people who, of all the runouts.
Yeah.
Every single player, they would list how many break-in runouts there
For
were.
the stats and stuff. Yeah.
And the stats. And if you look at the running list on the top 32, there were so many more break-in runouts in the top 32 than there were in the top 16. Could you call it pressure? Maybe.
Could be.
Could you call it the fact that maybe the rack wasn't
Perfect.
fully tight?
Perfect.
Maybe.
Could be.
Remember,
That's
referees are
part of
human.
it. Referees are human. It's part of it.
And the rule was, referee racked. You weren't allowed to check the rack.
Yep.
You had to take it as it was.
So you're
if
talking in like 70, 80 style. That's how it was back then.
If the referee unintentionally, gave you a gap or a slightly bum rack, I mean, it was what it was.
Yeah.
That's pool. But you could tell that it definitely threw. I don't know if it threw Shane off or maybe it rattled him. I have no clue. I'm not one to speak for arguably the number one player in the world. He's now
Number
officially
two.
the world number 2. We'll get to that in a
Filler.
minute. Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute.
Okay.
He's now officially the world number 2 player in the world according to the World Pool Billiard Association, the WPA.
Yeah.
But I'm not one to speak for him, but I have heard commentary that says that when things change, in the middle of a match, that he can tend to get frustrated, especially when he's not making balls in the break. He prides himself on being able to make a ball in the break.
Of course, he has a
being able
fantastic
to
break.
run out.
Best breaks in the world, obviously.
Yeah, he had arguably the best 10-ball break in the world in the last decade.
Yep.
And he struggled. You could tell he wasn't making balls in the break. He's up 4-1, and then out of nowhere. Well, that was the last time. But his first 4 breaks,
Was
he
it
really
5-1
did
and
struggle.
then he lost the set out after
It was
that?
3. It was 4-0.
Okay.
Then they traded racks, and then he didn't win another game.
Oh, okay.
This
Yeah.
kid, this 20-year-old kid, comes out of nowhere. Have you heard of Oliver Sanaki? I know I haven't before the World Championship. I mean, granted, I'm not
You're
the
pretty
world's
up to date,
biggest pool aficionado, but I'm pretty up to
Yeah, you're
date.
pretty up to date.
And this kid comes out of nowhere and just blasts him. People will argue, oh, he got a couple of rolls. There were a couple balls that he did shoot that didn't look like they were supposed to go, and they fell. But at the end of the day, this kid came up and just took it to Shane like Shane was nobody. And they had apparently played previously in Romania before Shane was practicing before the World Championship, and they ended up meeting in Romania, and they ended up playing a couple of sets there. And I guess Oliver won a set or two. Shane came out on top in that practice session, but Oliver did win a set or two. So the kid's good. It's not like he doesn't play. And
Absolutely.
I think that we're going to be seeing a lot of big things out of, like you said, out of these new junior players. You got this
think
guy
so, too.
Moritz Newhausen, who played Shaw. He beat Shaw Hill or 9-7.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, Hill or 9-7 in the group stage. Granted, it was double elimination. I think Shaw was kind of knowing that he was feeling okay.
Yep.
He's probably going to get through to the round. But this kid kind of came up and said, "Hey, listen, I'm not just going to go away. I'm gonna play my match and try to qualify too."
Yeah. And need to give another tidbit. I don't know if you guys know what happened to Shane after the tournament. You know what happened to Shane?
Immediately after?
Yeah.
Oh, he just got on a plane and went to a new tournament. That's exactly what he did.
And how do you think he did?
He got second.
That's
He
pretty
got
crazy.
second. He played Dennis Orcolo. He lost. That was the last.
Unbelievable.
So it's funny that he played Dennis Orcolo again and Dennis beat him again.
Yeah.
Because that came right down to nothing. But
Crazy.
You know-
that's crazy. He flies all the way across country from Europe to
yeah,
Texas, and
he flew
plays
all the way
another
across
event.
to Texas and plays another event. It was 10,000 out at the Big Time Classic in Texas. He gets second place. The tournament wasn't even done yet. The tournament, the Big Time Classic, started a day before the World Championship ended. Shane was like, "I don't even care who gets the trophy. I got money to win."
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And
But you got to give that up for pool players. You know what I mean? That's a lot of effort. I mean, I don't know if any of you guys flew out there in the past, but you fly for 12 hours.
And how do you get a ticket so
and then-
quick?
Yeah, it's not cheap.
They're paying extra money to
Yeah,
get
it's
tickets
not
the day
cheap.
before.
So you got to spending extra money.
Yeah.
You're not sleeping. You got to go hustle. Then you not only have to do what you have to win, or at least come in second to probably even make money.
And then on top of that, the tournaments aren't really paying out what they should. A lot of the tournaments aren't anyways. Some of these guys are going 128 player fields with 64 pros in them, and they're winning $4,700.
Yeah.
The money's in the Calcutta. The money's in the player auction afterwards, or the money's in the practice room when you got to find a way to grind to a set $15,000, $20,000 a set or
That's
something
what
against
we're
another
trying
top
to do
guy.
here. We're trying to bump that up.
You know?
We're trying to get
Yeah.
this sport going because we want the people like even the amateurs making I think $5,000.
Yeah, top amateurs.
and-
There are a lot of top guys who deserve to be sponsored by somebody. I mean, even if
Absolutely.
you're not going to go win the pros, you can go win the regional events.
Absolutely.
You know?
I mean, one of the best amateurs that I know is Phil Davis, who's made
Yeah.
a lot of money over the years.
Yeah.
He's won Valley Forge. He's won obviously
Never been sponsored by a soul.
Two up there. No, I don't think he's ever been approached about being sponsored.
No.
And you think at some point he would, be able to win a $50,000 tournament or a $20,000 tournament or even something where you can win a grant for college because he actually put himself through college. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? There's a lot of things out there that hopefully will come around with the pool, with the match room, and all this other stuff. And Predator's obviously taking over the world in pool, so hopefully
Tell me about it.
they come through and help out everybody too. So
We'll get to Predator in a minute.
Yeah.
I do have one more pro that I want to talk about while we're there. Of course,
Okay.
Connecticut's own Jeremy Sosi.
is it Lucas? No,
No,
Okay.
it's not Lucas.
Jeremy
Sosi.
The man, he is the true professional and a Connecticut native, I believe. I mean, we used to play him when he was 13, I think, 14 at Old Yale, and it would give me and my friend John Neal a 7-ball, him and Bristol Bob.
You
And
know
they
what?
came a long way, man.
You know what grossed me out is going through all the forums, during the World Championship, knowing full well that Jeremy's in the event, and everybody's like, "Who's this Jeremy guy?"
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how many people were like, "I have never heard of this guy before in my life,"
In
which is
Connecticut, he's a legend.
criminal.
It is.
It's
Connecticut.
it's
He
criminal.
has his own pool card. If you have the billiard, I don't know if you have anybody, you guys collect those billiard cards.
No, yeah,
He
the
ha-
Kamui, the Kamui ones.
Yeah, the Kamui ones.
Yep.
He has his own card, so he's
Yeah.
a true professional. He's won thousands and thousands of dollars.
He was
major
almost
events.
in the Moscone Cup 7-8 years
He
ago.
literally just
He was
missed
an
it.
alternate.
He kind of got robbed. Yeah, he actually,
Yeah.
I think he was a coach alternate. Yeah.
Yeah, and say what you want about that. I mean, there are politics in pool. It does happen.
Yeah.
But
there's politics in almost everything. But
I mean, look at case in point. Look at the Moscone Cup a couple of years ago. You got this whole ranking process.
everything was points and all
Everything's
yep.
there. You got Max Everly, Corey Deuel. They're going crazy trying to win their events, and they're
Yep.
going crazy trying to make the Moscone
Get them
Cup team.
points and finagle whatever they can do to win and get into the spot.
We go to the International 9-Ball Open with Lucas, and who should happen to show up to the event? Justin Bergman.
Yep.
Goes there, gets third place, and then immediately Corey Deuel and Max Everly look like two people who didn't deserve to be at the Cup.
Yep.
And after that, 2 days later, there you go, Justin
DQ,
Bergman,
whatever
who didn't
it was,
play,
yep,
who didn't
yep.
play a single tournament to qualify. He was in the original group
You had to qualify to get
and
in.
got knocked out. He was in the original group and got knocked out.
I remember.
And now he's on
I
the Cup.
remember.
And then he goes on to win. He goes
Yep.
on to win the Cup
Yep.
with them.
Yep.
So I mean, imagine being Corey. Your first chance back. That was the first year that they.
Yep.
Was it the first year that they won? It might have been the first year they
think
won.
so.
Maybe the second. Either way, imagine being Corey. The chance to go there with the
Absolutely,
repeat,
where they win, but
and then end up kind of getting taken out.
we're getting sidetracked here.
We are.
Jeremy Sosa.
Well, I want to
Yeah,
get back
yes,
to Jeremy, but there's a good
absolutely.
reason for it because I think that the way he played. Tell me if this is an exaggeration or not, guys. Does Jeremy have a shot if he goes and plays the U.S. Open at making the Moscone Cup this year?
I mean,
I don't think it is.
It's the hard part with this year with COVID and everything. There's not a lot of
True.
stuff to look
There's
back
gonna be-
on. But if you look at his history, he definitely deserves a shot.
There's going to be so many alternates, and you look at the players that he did better than. He did better than Billy Thorpe.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't do better than Sky Woodward. Sky Woodward was probably a lock.
Yeah,
For the
I
Open.
would think so.
He did
And
the
they already
best at the
announced
World
Shane,
Championship.
right? They already announced Shane.
Shane's going to be vice captain.
in there,
You know
yep.
he's playing, so he's guaranteed. But he did better than Billy Thorpe. He did better than Tyler Steyer. He did better than Chris Robinson, who I don't even know was in the tournament. I'd have to look back at the full draw, but I don't think Chris Robinson was in the tournament. He was the third best American player
Yep.
at the
And
Worlds.
there's more than 3 people in the Moscone Cup that are American. So
And I wouldn't get it. I get it. One tournament is not enough, but one tournament is also the World Championship, so it matters. The U.S. Open
like
comes
you said,
up.
if he does the U.S. Open and
Yeah.
he does win that, or even comes in top 2, there's definitely something he could do.
And we
And
spoke
we're
to
pulling
him.
for him too. So.
We spoke to him the other night, and of course we're trying to kind of link up with him and get him to kind of share his tournament
knowledge and everything about the game. He's
Well,
very
not
knowledgeable.
just that, but share his tournament results with us so that we
Yeah.
can kind of track him
His
along too.
opinions too. Yeah, exactly.
And we're hoping one day, who knows, maybe we'll get him in on Shark Talk Live to talk. But I want to thank him because he delivered a couple of gifts for us. What is that, Bobby?
This is, I guess you'd call it a protege. I don't know what it is. It's
a
actually-
prototype.
Prototype. I mean, that's
Yeah.
what I meant. A protege. I'm your protege right here.
Yeah.
Trying to help you out.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a prototype. I believe it's a Predator rack. Look at this. So you take this thing,
You want to talk about them not trying to take over the world? They are. And there you go.
Predator is they have their own tables.
They don't even sponsor us, and we're giving them airtime.
We are giving a little airtime. This is because this is a unique thing, and we're talking about Jeremy. Jeremy was the one that was gracious enough to give this to us. And it's just, and the thing does rack well. We used it last night. It racked last night, and the players were saying they were making balls, and it seemed a little better than the average rack. I don't know how much it's going to cost at some point. But
it's not even on the market yet, guys.
If you look at it, it's really, really different. It's a unique triangle. There we go.
The only thing about it that messes me up is look on the back. These are metal.
Yeah.
And I think that, it's smooth metal, but I don't know. Smooth metal on cloth.
There's less touching the table than a whole rack.
Yeah, that's true. So this whole rack is lifted. The whole rack is lifted up above, and because of that, it's.
I don't know if you remember back in the day, there was racks that actually had walls, and they were old.
Yeah, really old.
And they didn't do well and this is what I worry about is the tracks. You're gonna have 3 tracks. You don't want 3 tracks on your table. But obviously they did the research. We're gonna see what happens. This is pretty interesting.
I think that would be one of the better ones to set on top rather than push them forward. I don't think it's made for the casual player. It's one of those like you set it over the spot and maybe rack the balls in and then just.
It could be. Could be. Yeah,
I feel like that would work better.
Yeah, it could be. But if you want to try it, come on down to Yale Billiards. You can play some pool and use this rack if you like. We only have one, but we'll definitely let you use it. So,
like we said, it's not on the market, and no, I don't entirely think we are selling it. So, I wouldn't go making offers.
No, definitely not.
That's not the only thing that he gave us. He also gave us a Aramith Pro Cup set for the Shark Stream. That's right, the TV balls, the pink one. Not the Aramith Blacks. Those are confusing, and I say that only because most of the players who are watching us don't entirely know the color scheme for that. Even watching the World Championship, I got lost. I kept thinking that the purple 4 ball, which was really the 5,
definitely makes a difference.
Yeah, and I kept thinking, I'm like, that's a really good shot. He played position for that. Then I realized he's shooting on the other ball, the other side.
Yeah.
So, that rack, of course, is not for sale. But the balls, they are on table 8, and we're going to start using them on and on. So that's good news there. And of course, Jeremy, of course, is he's directing traffic. We got somebody special coming in. Jeremy, of course, did great at the World Championship, top 16. He took home $4,000 for his prize.
And if he wins the U.S. Open, I think he would actually deserve a shot in the Moscone.
Yeah, I think so. I think it would be I don't think it would be an exaggeration to see him.
All right, so
in the cup.
Since we got Timmy here,
we
have a guest coming outside. Let's do a little weather break. Can you tell us what's happening with the weather, and then we'll get our guest.
Oh, goodness.
Timmy the weatherman. Those guys know Timmy. He was a weatherman in 3 different states, United States. Arizona, New Orleans, and Connecticut. So Tim is the weatherman. What do we got, Tim?
All right, so for those of you guys who are curious, a tropical storm ended up forming off of the coast. And even though it's not going to hit the U.S. at all, it is interesting to note that a tropical storm did just form off of the North Carolina coast, and it just kind of raced away from the U.S. That was Tropical Storm Bill. So anybody who's out there named Bill, well, your name is now tied to weather. It's actually been tied to weather for a long time. Bill's been like 18 years or something going. That's all I got.
All right, we got the weather. We got a special guest coming in here now. We got the captain.
Going back to our lead story on the Shark Stream. That's right, Rebecca Hilton. She's going to be jumping in here, the captain of the team that went on to Vegas. And we're going to get Bobby try to situate in here and sit himself down a little bit.
No worries.
Bobby's a big guy.
Tight squeeze in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. All right, here we go.
So,
how about that?
Yeah.
All right, we're good.
So, Rebecca, I just kind of wanted to ask the first question. How does it feel to finally get it over the line after that first event?
I can't even explain the feeling. It feels surreal. It's been 3 times. 3 times we've tried.
Yeah.
And we finally.
I'm going on 15 years, so I feel your pain.
Yeah.
So what happened the 2 previous years, and who did you play?
So our first year that we ended up going to states.
Were you captain then also?
I was.
Okay.
I can't recall who we played.
I think
in the
did you
first
lose to
states.
Jamie in the finals? It was Liz versus Jamie in the last rack, if I remember.
We may have.
Yeah, that's what I think it was. You
Not
were really
100%.
upset.
I was. So that is something I will say that I've learned is not to worry about the game. You know, regardless of if you win or lose, when you go on to the next match, you're just going to play your heart out and you're going to continue, and then you're going to work hard, and then you will eventually achieve your goal.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
So let's talk about the match.
Okay.
Okay. Who'd you have to play, first of all?
I had to play a 5. Her name was Joanne.
Mm-hmm.
And what team were they from? Do you know
It
where
was
they're
from the Underdogs. I believe they were out of Shooters. If anybody's on the Shark stream that is from their team, please correct me.
Did you feel confident going? Did you feel confident going into the match? Like, was this one of those matches where you said to yourself, you know, I'm in a favorable matchup? Maybe, you know, this what you were hunting for?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was definitely one of the harder matches. A week prior to going into states, I was just moved up to a 6.
Yeah.
So I was playing higher handicap.
Yeah.
You have to play more games. You have to win more.
Yeah.
And I wasn't expecting to play right
Yeah.
away. I mean, I utilized my team. My team is my whole. They're the ones that carry me through this entire thing.
Yeah.
So we had our put up, and sometimes at
What
the end
happened
of
the first match?
I had one of my players, Allison. Unfortunately, she was shooting lights out. She was shooting phenomenal. Unfortunately, she did end up losing. So I ended up putting up my 3 against a 4. She's my anchor.
Trusting her team, by the way, because that was a little
Very
bit
important
different
match,
from
right?
that was a little bit different from when you played previously, when you
Correct.
decided to snap fire your best player.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep. I put myself up second
Yeah.
last year.
Learned that lesson early, didn't you?
Yes, I did. Another lesson I learned, if you want to take away from this, is if you win the toss, always put up first.
Yeah.
Always.
I think you just gave up a big
Sorry.
APA playoff secret.
Yeah, you
That's
should've
okay.
kept that one quiet.
Yeah, that's fine. You did good.
That's
You're
fine.
doing good. I think you're right.
So,
That's fine.
so in the middle of the match, what is the?
And Rachel, we call her the anchor because she won some big matches
Oh.
for this team.
She has.
Just so you know, she's
She
an
has.
awesome player.
Yeah, she's
Good
she's done
trait.
damage.
She's
She's
really
done
good
damage
trait.
to teams I've played before many a time.
Yep.
So, she's definitely a great person to play against. Take us through the match. What would you say was the most stressful part of the match?
The most stressful part was getting to that second game. Because that's where you have to make the big decision
Yeah.
of who is your next put up and
'Cause
what
if
your
you lose,
game
you're
plan.
out, correct?
Yes, correct. So you have to either take that chance and
Notice her shirt, guys?
yeah,
Sorry.
it's an APA thing. I know.
That's right.
If you are struggling, if you're down, you have to either put your best player forward or, as I've been saying, trust your team.
So when that match ended up being a win, of course, it comes down to you and this player for all the marbles.
And they're from Wellington, by the way. I found out they're from Wellington, Connecticut.
Okay.
Yeah. So you and this player, all the marbles. Take us through your match, and tell me what was the most stressful part of your matchup, playing the player. It's a 5-4 race, if I remember correctly. She was a 5, right?
Correct.
So you're spotting a game. What would you say was the toughest point of the match for you?
I believe you lost the first rack as well. You were down
I did.
1-0 or 1.
Really?
I did.
You were down 1-0.
I was down 1-0.
Okay, so
Coming
there's
back.
a little bit of pressure.
Yeah, I was a little stressed. I wasn't sure what my next move was, if I was gonna. I just had to play my heart out
Yeah.
at that point, and I can tell you I was shaking during that entire match. But it
What'd
comes
you do
down,
to calm the nerves?
focused on my shot. I didn't worry about who was around me, what was around me.
Mm-hmm.
I had people were telling me I had the face of a lioness, and that's the thing, is when you're focused on your shot and what you're doing, you will achieve what
Yeah.
you need to get done.
So, those are good words, by the way. I really liked the way you said that. So now we tie it all into everything that we were talking about earlier. one of your players on your team, Allison Vandermelen, she had already achieved being able to go to Vegas but couldn't go. How does it feel to realize that your team together is now finally allowing her to achieve what she rightfully deserved from the start?
She deserves this. This is for her. She earned this. She deserves to go to Vegas. Everything that I've known about Allison, she is the most amazing person. And everything that she has been through, this is her tournament for Vegas. You know, as I run the team, this is for her.
For her. Very nice. Very nice.
So a great group of friends there.
Yeah. And who else on your team?
You know?
I have Allison. You want me to say last names?
If you
can.
yeah, go for it.
Why
Okay,
not?
Allison Vanderbilt.
This is Shark Talk Live. You can
That's
as long as
right.
you don't,
You're live.
I
You're
know.
live. Say hello to everybody. You're live.
as long as
I
we don't
see
go say
that.
anything that tells, as long as we don't say anything that tells Facebook, hey, you're kicked off. You're pretty
Right.
much good.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So
Allison Vandermelen, Rachel Nettabitty,
Yep.
Cheryl Church, and Elizabeth Glass.
Yep.
Those are
And-
my teammates.
Yep. And they all have a story, I believe, too.
Everybody has a story,
Yep.
and they're all important.
So what's the story going into Vegas? What's the story now? What's the
What's
plan?
the
What's the narrative?
goal? What are we doing?
The goal is to win national champions.
World champion. It's called world champion.
World champion.
Because you're going to be playing against Japan and Canada as
Okay.
well.
All right.
So-
So let's win world champions.
You're gonna make
This
her.
is it.
So you're gonna make Allison a 2-time world champ.
Correct.
Yes, that's right.
Absolutely.
That's right. I like that. I like that.
Absolutely.
Anything else you want to say?
As of right now, I can't think of anything, but this is going to be a good year. I can
All
tell
right.
you that.
Yeah.
All right, I think we've grilled her enough. We probably
think
got to let
so,
her out
too.
of the Shark Tank. What do you
Yeah,
think?
I think you did good. We're very proud of you. All the fans out there are rooting you on. We want you to do very well out there. Keep learning, keep making good decisions, and you will go far.
Correct.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna let you go.
All right, Rebecca Hilton on the way out.
Let me get out first. You ripped up the wall a little bit. That's
We,
okay.
we've got a little bit more coming on the Shark Talk here. So we're gonna talk about what's
We're gonna
going
have Allison
on.
come in for a quick
with,
second. I want to talk to her for a minute.
Yeah, is she here?
She's here.
Okay. No, I mean, is she within
She's gonna
the?
come get her right now. She's
All right.
2 seconds away. So.
All right. So we've got more talking. While we're doing that, let's talk tournaments for a minute. We got
Tournaments.
a couple
lots of
tournaments that are coming up here. It's actually going to be a pretty quick segment on that. We've got the Mark Dion Partners event that's going to be coming up on.
That's gonna be July 17th.
That's right.
It's a Saturday.
Yep, July 17th on Saturday. That's going to be when the Mark Dion tournament is. That's a spot. it's a-
1250 Fargo,
Yes.
which is a huge number. That means you can play with almost anybody. But here's the good thing: what a lot of people don't realize: if you're playing Fargo and you have 2 low players, you play in a lower bracket, and it's actually a little easier to compete, and you're getting spotted from everybody. So
Yeah.
just because you're 2 low handicaps does not mean you shouldn't play.
Yep. And
All right, we got a special guest. Come on in.
well, who could it be?
Let's see. Oh yeah,
Come on.
Why
we're
don't we
live
sit-
on camera.
Come on. Come on.
All right.
What's on here?
Well, yes, we've been in here for 45 minutes.
we just drilled your captains. Now we can see what you have to say.
Yeah.
Really?
We did. She was in here talking.
Fire away.
All right. So, Allison.
Well, first of all, let's introduce
Yes.
to say who you are.
Allison Vandermelen. Hi, guys.
World champion.
Yes,
World champion.
champ.
of APA.
somebody who now gets the opportunity to realize what she should have been able to realize before, which is actually go to Vegas and compete in the World Championship.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
uh,
It's a great feeling.
So that was going to be the question I was going to ask. How does it feel?
Bittersweet.
Yeah.
You know, the whole situation it was an emotional day,
Yeah.
but it's fantastic. So here we go. And we're going to go try to win it all.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
it.
So when you were watching the game, I mean, you played first, did you not?
I did. I got smoked.
Rebecca
Oh,
said
really?
you played very
I
well.
got
You
smoked. I
had a
shot
couple
well.
bad rolls.
What was the final?
I got 3-0'd.
Really?
She shut me out.
Well,
And she shot
And
good.
how
Paula
did-
Prates, I played her. She shot fantastic. It came down to the 8 ball every rack. So I mean, it was fair. Everything was very fair. She
Yeah.
beat me. She beat me.
so here's the question. You know, I know that whenever I play in playoffs, the one thing that kills me, not even playing, but like just sitting on the sidelines, playoffs gives you heartburn. That it kills you. When
does.
you got
Especially in
done
that
got done
moment.
with the match,
Yep.
you ended up
That's going for Vegas
realizing,
right there.
Yep.
Yeah, you end up seeing the last 8-ball fall. What was the first thought that was in your brain? You're just like,
I'm like, we're screwed.
oh, really?
No, I didn't feel that. But I mean,
Be honest.
the
be
first
honest.
match, you gotta get a point at least. So I was.
You were
Yeah.
feeling
Well,
it.
I was feeling it.
One thing I got to give you, Allison, and you've been very good with my daughter. You've been teaching her the ropes as you go along.
Yes.
So, and as I do too, and you try to teach her. And I know she actually commended on the team a lot about how she loves you guys, and that you guys were actually, you showed her so much on how to play. And I think that was a reason why you guys persevered through that tournament, because the smartness of the way you played and the way you guys played.
Wow, it's just experience on my part, and Rebecca's new to it. So,
Yeah.
and she listens.
She
You know,
does.
as far as I've been a captain for a long time. So yeah, it's just insight,
When you
and she listens.
when
and it
you
helps.
saw her make the move to put up the 3 and not snap fire herself, in the thought of your brain, you were a little scared, huh? What did you think? What did you think she should have did? It's a tough decision.
I
isn't
was
it?
okay with the choice that we made, but Rachel had to win.
Yeah.
She didn't have to shut out, which she did, and she shot the best game probably of her
The
life.
anchor.
And she'll say it.
The anchor, I
And
call
she
her.
is the anchor, and
The
she
anchor.
wasn't phased nothing. She just played her game, and she played it fantastic. But if she lost that, then we lose without playing our best player. Rebecca's our best player.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you know how many times I've been in that situation too. You get on it, you're in the 4th match, and you tell yourself, listen, my 3's got to play.
Yep.
It's got to be me and my 3. If I go up, okay, the 4th match, I still got to face the same game in the 5th match. So what does it matter? May as well get the 3 in there and get it out of the way, right?
Rachel did exactly
You know?
what she needed to do. She only had to win, but she didn't have to shut her out. But she
Right.
shut her out and it tied us up. So
I
it
think
was meant.
the reason it was so important is because if Rebecca does go up second, now she's gonna have to play a 5. That's
Yeah.
a little tougher. So that's why she did it the way she did, I think.
Of
And I think
course.
that's why it was the
Of
right
course,
move.
of course.
Because
And
at the end, you throw yourself up. Yeah, you can even get that point, but you come down to the end. Now you're putting pressure on your lower player, and sometimes it
that
doesn't work out.
second
but
match was the most important match, and she did what she had to do.
She did.
And that was it.
I believe she
So-
won the first round too, right? Or the playoff round
She
too.
did.
She did.
She did. That was the third match.
Yep.
Yeah, she
So,
did.
so you're going into the game. I mean, you see, Rebecca got to see it from the player's side when she was playing the final match. But when you were watching it, what would you say was the turning point when you realized, all right, this is it. This is the match that
You mean Rebecca's
Rebecca's got this, and you
She
you
got
felt
an 8
it,
on
you
the
know?
break for the fourth rack. I was like, oh man, this is it now.
Shut 3-1.
I'm
now.
sorry, but
She
I
needs
mean,
2,
yeah,
your
I
girl
mean,
needs
because
3.
listen, the kid, she was just shooting lights out, and she wanted it bad, and she earned it. That's it. She won for a reason.
When you got to hoist the trophy again. Okay, so I keep seeing it. I keep seeing everybody says not enough tears. What is going on with this? Did you all just bawl like children?
We did.
You did?
We did for a
Really?
long time, actually. Yes.
Really?
It wasn't even minutes. It was like a half hour. Yeah.
It really
we just
was.
kept going back and forth. It's
'cause
crazy.
The whole team had a story. That's what I was trying to talk to Rebecca about. I mean, Liz has been with me for Yale for 15 years, never been to Vegas. Obviously, really close with you,
Yes,
Rebecca.
of course.
Rachel, is just a solid person. Has been around forever. Is a good player. And then you got Cheryl Church, who's another up and coming player. She's a 3.
You
And,
know what it is too? We're all close friends,
Mm-hmm.
so it was just heartfelt.
Just
It
so
was
you know that
fantastic. We all love each other very much and respect each other.
that's we won 2 world titles with that exact formula. So
That's it.
I think you got a good shot. That's
No,
very, very
listen.
important.
We're friends first, no
Yep.
matter what.
Yeah.
So it's fantastic.
So now that it's all said and done, you're going to Vegas. You're gonna have a great time. Whether it be ladies. In fact, I who knows? I might actually still be out in Vegas. When is the tournament? When is the tournament
It's
exactly?
just 2 days before the
9th,
Masters.
August
so
9th to 12th.
Oh, guess what? I'll be
Eighth-
there for the
no,
whole
the 8th,
tournament.
The 8th through 12th.
Oh
We
well,
start the
I'll be
9th.
there the entire
9th
time.
Really?
to the 12th.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
pretty good.
They
That's
go out there
good.
the 8th for the day before
Oh, okay.
for like practice and
Yep.
such. My turn, I actually going out for the APA singles. I'll be there for the 7th and the 9th. That's the tournament. But I'm actually staying until the 13th. So
Okay,
who
wow.
knows? Might pop in to see some of the games, especially if you guys go pretty
Oh,
deep.
100%. I'll
what
be there.
happens.
You know that 100% every match.
We have a really
But-
good team.
Unless I'm playing.
But now that you have
really
the
good team.
opportunity, now that you have the opportunity to go out there, you have the opportunity to see it firsthand. You know, your story is 100% unique. You fought through something that is terribly adverse. I guarantee you there are not many people in the APA who have had to go through the exact same thing and are going to have to
Not even
continue
APA,
to fight
probably
through it.
almost the
Yeah.
world, but yeah.
You know, I'm just
Yes,
putting it
absolutely,
into
in
a pool
Yeah,
perspective.
absolutely.
You know, you're going to go out
Yep.
there, have the opportunity to play. I mean, just how there's no better question than how does it feel? I mean, I promise I'm not trying to like bring the waterworks out, I swear. It's not what I'm trying to do. But
It's not like you're a tough chick.
yeah, of course.
I still have feelings. Something.
Yeah, I know.
It's again, it's bittersweet. You know, the last time I was excited about winning, tragedy happened, so it's tough. I'm happy now, yes, but I can't say no more. I'm done.
Well, it's
I'm going out
it's
there to
just
win with my
great.
girls and have a good time, and let's see what happens. But you know
That's it.
what? We have a really good team, and the possibilities are up there. Very much so.
Absolutely.
Exactly. I mean,
Absolutely.
you've done it once before. All of you are going to be bringing.
And
every
my
single
girls
bit of
did
the
it with
pedigree.
4 girls, not 5.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
they
Who
did.
Who wasn't there?
Me.
Oh yeah, I remember. Oh no, I'm
Who is
sorry.
on,
Which
can you give me a
girls?
shout out? Who was on that team?
Christina Oglin was the captain, fantastic captain. Frankie Breban, June Vidar, and Don Marie Lisker.
Okay. There we go.
There you
Good
go.
squad.
So
4
Congratulations.
girls.
So
4
when,
girls,
so when you're
and they
playing
won it all.
any of those names you hear, just remember steer clear.
For real.
Yeah. So, all right. Is there anything else you want to add?
No.
No, you were a great guest. We appreciate you coming in.
I just
On
want
the
to
first Shark Talk Live.
I just want to say from somebody who has never brought a team there, just good luck.
Thank
You
you.
know,
Thank you.
you guys always, you know, represent Yale well whenever you're here, just playing local play, whether it be tournament play, whatever. You guys are always here representing Yale well. Just want to say a very good luck to you, and I hope that your Vegas trip is everything that it should have been and more. So,
Thanks, buddy.
alrighty.
I love you guys.
All right.
I can't. We're gonna get all mushy in here. We're gonna get all mushy in here. Can we live? Look. I love you guys.
All right.
It's crazy.
All
Who's
right.
watching? This like
There's so many people. So many people.
Yeah, you're over here.
Alrighty, so Allison's on her way out.
Bye,
We're gonna-
everybody. Thanks for listening.
So,
All right, we got to button this up. We have a huge list match coming up.
yes, we do. We got
Huge
two
list match.
more tournaments to get
Okay,
through.
2 more tournaments to get through, and then we'll get to this match.
Yes. So the Joss tournament coming up July
Josh
23rd.
tournament. 2-day event. Yale Billiards is going to be running pop-in tournaments, which is every day except today because we have no tables.
We qualified
but
5
it's
so far.
$25 for people. If you win it, you're into the Joss tournament.
Yep.
You can't beat that. We already have 5 winners.
That's right.
We're trying to do one a day, so we have 30 people that's going to be in that event from Yale Billiards, just mini tournaments.
Yep, we
That's our
actually
goal.
qualified 2 last night.
2, yes.
So because of that, definitely come down if you're enjoying that. Again, these are just going to happen. It's going to be completely random. We're not sharing who's in
Nope.
the tournament, nothing like
You
that.
sign
You come
up, you
down,
play,
sign up, and
that's
show.
about
You
it.
never know who you're going to play. But 4 people, and that's it. You know, you
Yep.
win, you're in.
That's
So,
it.
the other tournament is this weekend.
This week, and this is going to be a real fun tournament.
Yes.
It's a sponsored tournament, and this is one of the ideas that I had. I think it's great for pool because, one, we're getting the sponsors involved, and I know they're going to love it so much that next time they're just going to sponsor players. And if we can get players to play and not pay, that's just going to snowball and I hopefully go upwards so that other tournaments and get bigger tournaments where they can get better and better and win more money. Because we want the amateurs to be able to win money without even paying. How about that?
Yeah, it's gonna be an absolutely awesome event. 16 players.
Ball.
Unlike the Shark Stream Invitational, not every single match will be streamed, but we will do our best to get as many matches streamed as
Yes.
possible. We've got, of
Yes.
course, our 2-table setup,
Yep.
And I'm actually going to be in the tournament as well, not just as not as a sponsor, but as a player being
We're
sponsored.
going to have special guest Will Alley.
Yes.
And maybe even get Michelle Schroeder down here to talk a little bit. She would be fantastic in the booth.
Yep.
And again, shout out to them. They did a great job by winning previous year, and who knows against if they had to play Rebecca's team how it would have went. But
Yeah, there's
that
going
would've
to
been
be
a lot of fun.
there's going to be not only myself but 15 other really great players that are
Really
going to
good
be in
players.
the event. And again, it's going to be absolutely awesome. It's going to be a really good
Sponsored.
event. Yes.
Sponsored.
A tournament
100% sponsored.
for the sponsors, with players sponsored by the sponsors.
That's crazy. It's crazy.
And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to push the fact that if you're a sponsor in this Shark Stream, there are perks. It's not just about getting your name out there. It's about the whole package. There's so much more to sponsorship on the Shark Stream and Shark Talk Live.
We got another sponsor. I
we
can't
do.
tell you who it is, but we have another sponsor. And believe me, we're going to keep doing this Shark Stream Live. We're
Yes.
going to do different things. Shark Talk Live, we're going to be doing different things. We have big ideas. We don't want to keep it going because we have a huge list match coming up.
Speaking of that list match, I believe maybe the players are going to be out there playing on the stream right now.
I'm going to go put them on right now. I'm going to tell them to start.
Yeah, they're actually not on there. I need to actually break from the stream in order to fix the
All
the
right,
stream.
well, let's break the stream.
But let's go through our great sponsors. Speaking of them,
Yep.
and say a big thank you to all of them. Of course, these are all the people who sponsor the Shark Stream, and of course, Shark Talk Live. It's not just the Shark Stream; it's the Shark Stream Network.
Absolutely,
You know,
Shark Stream
and
Network.
Shark Stream Productions.
Right.
So,
And what the sponsorship does, and believe me, it's not putting a lot of money in Timmy or my pocket, but we're putting this back into this business.
Yeah.
Timmy and I feel we have something here, and with you guys out there helping us, I know we can do this to make this even bigger, even better than anything out there right now. We have some great ideas. Like I said, we have amateurs. I didn't even talk about Lucas and Mike DeShane coming up on the 25th.
oh, speaking of that,
How about this?
wouldn't you know?
How
There
about
it
that?
is.
I mean,
Lucas
that's
and
going to
Mike.
be crazy. We're going to change the race to 19. They both like odd numbers, so we're going to do 19.
All
like
right.
whatever. But that's
Race to
that's
19.
fantastic, guys. But yeah, thank you very much for joining us for the Shark Stream Live. This is Bobby Hilton.
And I am Tim Levine, and we are
And-
going to be heading on out.
Bye bye.